Oh, wait, actually, I know some super white people shit. Ooh. So I'm going to Hawaii next week. Terrified of planes. Getting on a plane, terrified of. Once I get there, I'm going to swim with sharks without a cage.
Without a cage?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're You're white.
I'm not scared of that.
You opened up the door.
I'm scared of getting on a plane.
You are the person that dies in the first 5 minutes of a horror movie.
Yeah, sharks kill more people than planes do.
But it's like with an instructor. They're between you and the sharks. They're trained on shark behavior.
Yes, but so is the pilot in the airplane. The pilot is trained to fly.
It can't be that bad, oh, 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 it can't be that bad.
Whenever anyone watches my TikTok, I have to leave. I have to walk away because I'm like, oh, like I black out when I'm filming a TikTok, and then I just post it, like act like it never existed.
You black out.
I'm like, I'm gonna act like this didn't happen. Then I just like post it, and then I just go on with my life. So then when someone like reminds me that that's a thing I do, I'm like, oh, that's not me. Like,
really,
that's so embarrassing.
This thing that you are doing work for, that you have worked with some pretty big companies with, that you've gotten some pretty substantial views from. You're just like, I hate when people bring it up.
Well, it's like, it's different if someone's just like talking to me about it, but if someone's sitting there in person and then they like pull it up to show someone else, I'm like,
this
like,
is her.
Especially if they don't know me, I'm like, that's a different personality. That's like, it's a personality kind of. Because it's like, even though it's kind of authentic to me, it's like, I don't know. It's just like a weird sense of like, is that who I am? Is this who I am? And then I'm questioning my whole existence.
What's the difference between TikTok Lauren and real life Lauren?
I don't think, like, people have told me before there's like, I'm like how I am in real life on TikTok, but I think it's just like seeing myself from like a third person point of view.
We've never been meant to look at ourselves as humans.
Right, exactly.
It is kind of crazy, huh?
Yeah.
And then what do you think that does to our ego? Because as much as I wanted to like boost my confidence, that we have this podcast where people say like, oh, it's so funny, blah blah blah, high quality, and I get super shy.
No, literally, that's how I feel in person. I just get so shy, and I'm not a shy person at all. But then all of a sudden, I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Am I supposed to be like, yeah, like, that's my TikTok, and then be like full of myself?
Did you like it? Did you subscribe?
No,
Did you?
Exactly.
What am I supposed to say? It's like, I feel like I just like black out, and then I'm like, I just don't say anything.
You really aren't shy though, because like the way that this started to happen is she just hit us up. You slid into our DMs.
Yeah, I was like, I've seen your podcast.
Awesome.
Like,
said,
let me get on this.
You said shooting my shot here. Straight up, just like sounded like a.
We're just easy girls.
Yeah, no,
easy girl.
We're easy tramps. We just love the attention.
You would have been super easy to come kill, for sure.
That makes it scary that you just said that.
Just like I told you, there was a 20% chance of me driving here where I was just like, this Lauren could actually be
20. That's a compliment.
20%,
so it's like,
yeah.
80%, like,
well,
she should be good.
Because I trust Christian and I trust his judgment.
I have good intuition.
I do. You do. But I do also know that Christian is incredibly nice and could potentially be taken advantage of.
But also strength in numbers. You don't think that I'm an Asian man, and so definitely
That's
ran
why
through the
I
calculations.
said 3 big muscular men.
There you go.
I'm thinking like 1 big Italian.
You only have 2 right now, so I could definitely take you down if I wanted to.
You said right before we started recording.
We got a mom here. Melissa's mom's here. We got mom power.
That is true too, and 2 pugs that could probably take you down.
Pugs are scary sometimes.
Yeah.
Bred for war.
But you did say prior to us recording, we were making the joke of like, hey, you're a stranger to us. You could have just stabbed us to death. And you said, no. I wouldn't use a knife. I would use a gun. I would use something clean.
I don't like blood. Yeah.
Okay. And then you said this one specifically, and you pulled out a gun from your bag. And
then I held you guys at gunpoint.
we're like, oh, okay, we'll start recording now.
Like, okay, you better post this next week.
Is that good? Is that funny enough, sir?
If the police are watching this, that didn't happen.
They're not.
But it was an interesting situation where you had been dropped off by your family.
Yeah.
And I had never met you before. I'd only met you via the social media.
Yeah. So
And
I could have been anyone.
You could have been anyone. I texted you saying, hey, I'm the brown man in white Crocs, so you can't miss me. And then the first person I saw get out of the vehicle in front of my house was this big man with a hat with a feather in it. Yes.
Yeah, that's my Native American ass dad with his feathered hat.
Yep.
Nice.
And then there's this white girl pops out of the front seat, and I'm like, oh, it's Lauren.
Yeah.
That's who it is. And then now I'm like in this whole like debacle of like, do I shake her hand? Do I hug her? But I'm glad that you are a decent individual that hasn't taken our lives yet.
Yeah.
Yet.
I usually wait till after, just out of like courtesy.
Kindness,
Yeah.
of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
a killer, not a rude person.
Right, exactly.
There's a
At least
difference.
edit this episode and release it after our deaths.
Yeah. Okay, I got you on that. I have done video editing, so like
Perfect.
I'll at least make sure the final episode looks good.
Yeah, you are very.
Yeah.
I mean, you are a content creator. Before we get into
I was
it,
just gonna. Should we do our hellos and highs and
we should do it.
highs and guys?
Let's tell the baddies what's up, because baddies, welcome to another episode of ICBTB's Highly Irrelevant. We have a very special guest in the brand new studio, the very first guest to have entered the new studio for ICBTB.
We should have her sign like a wall or something.
I should just sign it like right there.
Yeah.
You just
My
want to
home.
vandalize this home?
We'll Sharpie it.
Yeah.
Or the door. Sharpie on the door.
I
hate
didn't
all
bring
of your
it up.
ideas right now.
That'd be kind of cool though, having every guest like
Sign
just
the
Sharpie
door.
the door or something.
Well, in our old studio, we had like a table that we had guests kind of just like doodle on or like leave a signature.
Is that
or
going
a
to come
quote.
back or anything?
That's kind of cool.
Maybe a smaller
that.
piece of furniture, nothing on the walls. What do you like? 5? You want to do it with a crayon?
No, I'm saying the table right here.
I don't. It looks like you're doing a Sig Hail right now
The table.
with your hand.
What is going on?
Yeah, and it's not even. If you were a Nazi, you would be like a low-ranked Nazi because you can't
Hey.
even put your hand high enough.
My shoulder hurts.
What could be signed? What's like the most valuable piece in here? To have everyone sign your laptop?
That's-
or like the most expensive
that's cool.
camera? Just like
You might as well just stab us because you sound evil for saying
Yeah,
that already.
literally.
Ladies and gentlemen, we
We
have
have Lauren McCoy,
That's me.
TikTok social media content creator. You are an interesting one because I told you, you have like a very niche category of content creation where you
Nice.
make these cooking videos, but it's funny. It has personality. They're from Hannah Montana cookbooks. And I really liked that.
Yeah, I mean, where do you even find a Hannah Montana cookbook?
in my basement. Honestly,
It seems
Or
like the only place you'd find it.
So when I was little, I was obsessed with Hannah Montana. I was her for like 3 years
right.
in a row for Halloween.
Nice.
And then I was just like, I don't know what I was doing. And I found this cookbook a couple years back, and I made a TikTok because there was this recipe where it's fish sticks with marinara sauce, and then it's like you make it into pizza. And then I just posted on TikTok because I'm like, look at what the fuck is going on here, because like, what is happening? Oh yes, a fish stick recipe. Let's see what we have to do. Buy them at the store. Literally, we just have to buy them at the store. And there's your recipe. That went viral. Not viral. I don't know what's considered viral. Like
I mean-
300,000 views.
Whoa.
I don't even know like
I would say that's viral
Pretty
enough.
viral.
yeah, but I've had like
If it
I've
was a
had
disease.
videos with like 10 million views. So now I'm like, now that's like,
Oh, that's baby stuff.
yeah, exactly.
That's
just
amateur
nothing. But a lot of people are like, you have to go through every recipe, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Like,
Start from page one.
whatever. You have to get in like the social media world somehow. So
Yeah.
if people are wanting that, I was like, it doesn't hurt. Well, it actually did hurt because all these recipes are so horrible that every time I eat it, I'm like physically in pain. There's been probably about like 5 good ones that I'd eat again, but they're just so bad. Like, no one has made these recipes. No one went through any of this book. No one proofread it. They just put Hannah Montana's face on it, and they're like, people will buy this. And I did.
There was no boardroom meeting
No.
from like Hannah Montana executives.
There's no chef going through it saying like, yeah, let's try this. They were just like, yeah, that's what kids like, right? Like they're people that don't have any kids probably. They just are
What
making
do
shit
kids
up.
like? Fish sticks? Yeah, and pizza. Okay, we'll put it together
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
Do you think it was Miley Cyrus when she was at the
It was
peak of
her
Hannah Montana?
herself that sat down and wrote this book.
With no culinary skills because she grew up to be Billy Ray Cyrus's famous daughter.
She was born Billy Ray
okay, let's be
Cyrus's
real.
daughter.
She doesn't even know this book exists.
She probably doesn't.
No.
Someone needs to contact her about it.
If somebody gets famous, what they should do is make a full course meal, 3-course meal, appetizers, a main, and a dessert from the cookbook, and then at the end of the meal, just be like, "Did you enjoy the food, Miley?" Well, I have something to reveal to you. All of this food is actually from the Hannah Montana cookbook. And then
You just bring her in. You're like, let's talk about
turn all the lights on and shit. And she's like, what the fuck is this?
Do you think she'd be proud? I would be flattered even if I had a cookbook. No?
She'd be like, what the fuck is this? It would make her name look so bad.
Would she eat it though? I bet she has like a gluten-free diet.
No, I think she was vegan for a while. And then
Is she still?
No.
Okay, so
not.
then fish stick pizza's back on the menu.
Yeah.
Do you think was she vegan during the time period that this was?
No, Hannah Montana was corn-fed hamburgers.
She was little when they filmed Hannah Montana. She wasn't even 18. I don't think.
I used to watch it before football practice.
That gets you in the mood to just like tackle very testosterone.
You're
How
like,
about
this show
that?
pisses me off. Let me just go.
I'd be laughing and shit, thinking about the brother. And then I remember when I found out the brother was actually like a 43-year-old man.
Oh,
was he way older?
Yeah, he was old.
And he had signed a deal with Disney where they're like, you can never reveal that you're married and have kids.
And then he did.
Yeah, he did later on. But at first, like, he wasn't allowed to take his wife to red carpet events or like hang out there. Like, people need to believe you're a boy.
I believe it.
Literally.
Disney has their hands on like everything, and like it's a tight grip. I mean, that show. What's up with like all these movies and TV shows where it's about high schoolers in high school and they're all being played by 40-year-old men and women?
Or
I don't know. How does it work out somehow too?
No clue.
Like,
because that's how we think high schoolers look. We're like, yeah, that's what an 18-year-old man
when I was in
looks.
high school, I feel like that's how I felt like I looked. Like I was like, oh, I'm so big. I'm in high school.
what?
And then
I
after high school,
didn't.
I'm like, everyone's so little.
Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I have an older sister.
How much older?
5 years.
Oh, okay. Well, that's close enough. Because I feel like I have an older brother who's 6 years older than me.
Yeah.
How much older is your brother? 2?
6.5.
6.5. So I always feel like I don't know why I said 2. You guys
He's known me
are
for
very similar.
like more than 10 years.
I don't know anything.
You've met the guy. You've had drinks. You've broken bread with the man, and you're just like you don't know his age.
Bill.
Whatever, dude.
Anyways, my point is, when I look at like my brother's friends growing up, I was always like, yeah, that's what high schoolers, that's what adults look like. And then as I got to the age that they were when I thought that, I'm just like, but why do we all still kind of look the same?
No, you want to know the biggest mindfuck? My sister got married at 22. I'm 23 now. I was like, she's so grown. She's getting married.
Sure.
I was 22, and I was like, I could not imagine.
My brother
being married.
My brother at
Holy
this age
shit.
had 2 kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old are you?
29.
29. Yeah, that's
And
still
Holden.
like you're like
You do look
But-
exactly the same as you did when I first met you.
I got carded the other day
you
for
look the
buying
same
cigarettes.
as when I first met you too.
Oh my God.
Wow. Oh my
That's a
gosh.
great. Okay, you get one in the humor section for.
Nice.
It's nice.
Do you think there's just something in the
air?
water where, as everyone's getting older,
Well, do you remember when we went to grad night in Disneyland?
yeah,
And there were other schools there from like Nebraska or in like LA. They're from all over the place there that night. And I remember seeing other high schoolers and being like, these look like grown adults. Like that man has a beard. You know what I mean?
Can I ask you something? When I was in senior year, and you don't know of anything of how I looked like when I was 17, but I looked wildly different.
Wild.
I
Yeah.
almost literally looked like a jungle boy. But do you think I looked old or young for my age? Because I definitely didn't look like I was a senior in high school. I either looked like
What's a dead giveaway was the way you dressed. Like high schoolers have a very like, that's clearly a child.
yeah.
Like, look at how dumb that jacket looks.
What was it? Are you saying that about the jackets that I wore?
No, I think it might have been the hat.
Oh.
The hat.
You wore a hat?
He used to wear a
Yeah.
hat
Was
like.
it a fedora?
Why did you?
Whoa.
No. What? Why do I give off fedora vibes?
You could pull it off though. That's what she's saying.
Let's play a game.
I'm just let's play a game.
Come
Who
on.
would wear a fedora?
I actually did.
You wore a fucking
I
fedora.
actually did.
Oh my God.
But I pulled it off.
You wore a white shirt, a vest, skinny
Ooh,
jeans,
I
and a
looked
fedora.
great. And I had all white dress shoes that were like pointed at the
Oh
end.
god.
He was
They,
like-
curved up.
A little bit.
You look like a magical Jason Mraz.
I looked like Paul McCartney.
Oh my god.
That
You can't just give yourself
I
that.
don't know why that was.
You can't give yourself that clout.
That was my goal.
All right, the game is guess how we dressed in high school, and we're gonna guess
We
how
just
you
told
dressed.
her. We
Well,
just
no.
told her.
I mean, yeah, okay. Guess how
let
I
me guess.
dressed.
You wore a fedora. I feel like you shopped at like PacSun and Tilly. Like I don't know. Like
No, she's going by modern body type. He used to be fat.
Okay.
Let's say that. 255 pounds.
He was a perfect circle.
Not perfect. There was more so oblong.
Perfect.
I think like I'd say, did you feel good about yourself or no?
Not in high school.
So deep of a question, and we just met each other
Okay,
today.
no, this is going off like the vibe. I have to like ask 21 questions before I get to that.
You're right. Okay. I walked with some swagger. I felt good about myself, but it was definitely trying to shroud a lot of my insecurities.
A lot of this is cool, right?
Exactly. That's the perfect if there was like a
So you probably followed a lot of trends.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I don't know. When were you in high school?
We were seniors in 2010 to 11.
Okay, so was it like hipster?
Not yet.
Or like, okay. So not quite like the mustache.
No.
Because I remember when my sister was in high school, that was like the thing. Like mustaches as like a personality trait.
In high school, people
yeah.
were growing mustaches?
No,
already?
like there was like a trend where like you'd wear stuff that had just like
Oh,
mustache print.
Oh.
It was like
Yeah,
I know
right.
what you're saying. It does kind of sound like you had a stroke, but I know exactly what you're saying.
I'm like, how do I explain this?
I have
Like,
a friend who got that mustache tattooed on her because it was so
God.
cool at a time.
I'm so sorry
Like
for
a
her.
curly mustache, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that'd be like it would be on.
That would be a print.
Button up.
on-
It'd just be
on-
like on a graphic T-shirt, just like a mustache.
yeah,
like,
people would have it on their cars and stuff.
I feel like that was around the time that if your sister's 5 years older than you, that means she's around our age.
Yeah.
And around that time, if we're talking about the mustache era, we're talking about the clear the non-prescribed nerd glasses that everyone wore.
With the mustache chained down to it.
No, not to that extent.
there
But
is
you know what I'm
definitely
talking about.
Yeah.
We've seen those.
Yeah, those exist, but those are comical.
But no, this is
No,
how,
they were serious. They were
Shut
taken
up.
very seriously.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
These are my glasses. I need these glasses
No,
to see.
like people would put them on a drive.
that person's an asshole.
Okay.
I hope that person crashed
As with
and died.
being someone that actually has tainted vision, that is
Tainted
so
vision.
of. But I'm sorry that I.
Tinted vision. You have glasses. You wear glasses. As a person who wears
As
glasses.
someone who has tainted vision.
Yeah. What an extreme way to put wearing glasses.
I know. I'm just trying to get a sob
As a
story.
person who has
This is like
differential
how it is
ocular
on
muscles.
American Idol when they have you like
Yes.
do the whole story. They're like
I
growing
was
up. I
born
had tainted
with ocular
vision.
difficulties, and they just show you putting on your glasses. It's like I always needed these.
Were the producer saying, "Hey, I know that you have bad vision, but you milk it."
Yeah.
We have a
sell
great
this.
voice, and we actually know you're gonna win, but we can't take you to Hollywood unless you make people cry.
Your life is too good. It seems like the only
Yeah.
conflict and issue that you have is your tainted vision.
Listen, even
So
if you
really-
lose, we're gonna sign you a record deal. So, honestly, the losers of this show make more money than the winners.
No, they do.
Really?
The runner-ups
Oh, yeah. The second
have
place
been
person-
way more successful because the first place they're signed onto a contract.
Yeah.
So if they get a better offer,
They can't
they're
take it.
stuck.
So the
So-
runner-ups are free.
So
Yeah.
think about all of the like most
For
memorable
record
people.
labels, anything.
Let's talk about it. Did you watch a lot of like American Idol
Growing up, yeah.
Okay, so
Who won season 1?
Ruben Studdard,
No, that was season 2.
Kelly
actually.
Clarkson. I'm so
Kelly-
sorry.
And
yeah,
she got
Kelly Clark.
She got really famous. Come on.
No,
But
Justin
she was
Guarini
the first
though.
person to ever win it.
Justin
So,
Guarini should have won.
I have no clue who that is.
Oh, he's a little sweet.
I remember
That's right.
there was the year that Chris Allen won. There was that one guy that sang like opera almost.
Whoa.
And he was like
I remember Chris Daughtry lost
was
to
that-
Taylor Hicks. And
Okay,
Taylor Hicks ended
there's
up doing like
that.
Grease on Broadway. And
was-
Chris Daughtry became Chris Daughtry.
I don't know, it was like this emo guy. And he was a runner-up. Everyone thought he was gonna win,
Oh.
but the other guy was more attractive. So
Carrie
he won.
Underwood didn't win.
That's true, and she got really famous
Yeah.
too. I know who you're talking about. I
Right.
forget his
He
name.
got super famous.
He's got- he
so
seemed
famous that
really
we
high.
forgot his name.
William Hung. William Hung.
William Hung.
No, not him.
Most famous non-winner.
He's a working vocalist. He throws like karaoke nights or of like really big karaoke nights somewhere, which I'm trying to crash or go to because that would be awesome.
Karaoke. You just start doing karaoke right now. You just like pop
That's
up the
a
words on the
Christian.
screen.
Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me.
He
I'm
loves
of
karaoke.
I don't
Filipino
sing.
descent. Earlier today, I do want to point out that once again, you are interesting in the sense that you saw that I had a ukulele in the studio. You're like, "Do you play?" And I said, "Yeah." And you're like, "I don't." You know, that sentence was very 5 years old of you. and I didn't know how to respond to it.
Yeah, I like just saying shit to like not like for people to not know how to respond, and I just like.
Do you get off from like?
Gross, Christian.
I'm sorry.
Well, I said nothing
What
was
the
awful.
fuck, dude?
Wait, well, I'm sorry.
What the fuck, bro? You stepped in it this time.
Come on.
You've stepped
People
in it
say
this time. Yeah, people do say it.
Yes. Okay. Does
All right, fine. We'll ask Lauren. What gets you off? Then you sick pervert. You happy now?
Okay, what are my kinks? Like just like
Clamps, electricity, fire.
clams.
Sorry,
clams?
Sorry, that was me. That was me. Sorry.
That was your kink.
If that's your, which I wouldn't be too surprised if that was your kink.
No, I like tape.
Oh,
What?
Sorry.
Wait, that like
wait, yeah, you're like
to
back
shut
up a
yourself
second.
up like.
No, to tie my hands down.
Oh, you're the one being dominated. Karen's a. I wouldn't be surprised if you're in like a dominatrix relationship.
Oh, fuck. Anyways, I want to do Edward 40 Hands with you.
Oh, with the tape. Is that why you thought of that?
Yeah.
You ever done that before, Edward 40 Hands?
No,
All right, that's an old thing. We're showing our age.
Do you know what that is?
no.
Would you like to break it down?
You get two 40-ounce,
Oh,
and then you
I
tape your
actually
hands
do
to
know.
them.
Yeah,
It's also
yeah,
known as
yeah.
beer Achilles.
I think I just didn't know the name of it, but I do. I've seen that at like parties before when people have had that.
Did you ever?
Christian next week for the Halloween special.
I'm
For the
okay.
Halloween special?
I have to press record.
No, we can have Melissa do it.
Okay, maybe we'll think about it.
We're going to need a third person in here because
You know, I'm watching my figure, so I'm trying to not drink 80 ounces of malt liquor.
have some
Watch
fun.
your figure increase.
Have some fun. Yeah, you'll be keeping an eye on your figure.
Yeah.
Truly, no. I mean,
You can do it Truly's if you want.
Truly's.
Right,
This
guys,
is now to
we
get
get-
into our
but we gotta
advertisement.
tape two of them.
Sponsored by Truly.
That's good. Bonobos,
transition.
guys. Check out Bonobos.
did you ever partake in those like crazy alcoholic activities growing up?
The high school drinking games.
I don't think so, because I just get vodka and just like drink as much as I can and go to parties every
Nice.
weekend.
And then show
like,
up.
And then run from the cops. And then that was all I did.
You're a rock star.
The fact that you drank. So I was hoping that prior to your arrival that we would have the alcohol that would be of your choice.
Yeah.
Which is like, you know, we have some tequila, we have some mezcal, and we have some bourbon and whiskey. And you said vodka and gin, and those are the two alcohols that I avoid.
Oh, really?
Yes. And I don't know how you're able to down vodka or gin.
I think it's just the clear alcohol. I took one sip of whiskey once and I didn't even swallow it. I was a spitter, not a swallow. Yeah, it just came right on out.
And I'm crossing the line.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Christian.
This is a super religious podcast.
Yeah, this is our Catholic podcast. Remember that? And did I offend you earlier prior to recording when I asked you? I straight up said you look like the type of girl that slapped the bag before.
Talking about drinking wine out of a bag.
Yeah.
What else could it mean?
It could- who knows? Slap the bag could be a boxing
No, I didn't
term.
get offended
Okay.
by that. Yeah, I just actually haven't. But I didn't go to like traditional college. So I feel like that's like a college activity.
But I feel like it happens in high school as well, or just like social gatherings.
I've never slapped the bag.
I've seen it done for sure. I just never partook because I was like, vodka. Like, because when you're drinking, especially in high school, you're drinking to get drunk. So I'm like, what's the quickest, the cheapest, the easiest? Vodka.
That is what vodka of choice did you have?
Whatever you could grab, bro.
That's true in high school.
Vodka of choice in high school, Smirnoff.
Smirnoff, the fat handles of Smirnoff. Were the
Not
ways to
even
go.
that, just like the skinny one, just Smirnoff or Ciroc.
I think one of the last like house parties I went to was with you. It was like a Christmas party at an old high school friends after like years after we had graduated, and I had a bottle of Smirnoff in my hand. And all I remember is the video the next day that Jules took of everybody sitting on a couch and me standing up, just ranting at everybody, taking swigs of warm Smirnoff.
Oh, God.
And then like getting back to a speech about whatever the fuck I was talking about.
You
You're
are
putting on a performance.
I was just giving a speech of some sort.
when he would get that drunk, you turned into like a South Park character because it was cartoonish how drunk and performative you would get because
It was another planet.
it was crazy. I mean, like the last time I drank vodka, what's up?
That was also the night we went back to my parents' house and I burned their electric kettle Because I put it on the stove. Remember?
God.
Oh, God.
Trying to boil water.
I wasn't there, but I mean.
Oh, I thought you were for that part.
No.
That's how drunk you were.
There's no way I would want to go home with that.
You're like,
you know?
if you weren't there, then who was in my house?
Oh, no.
There's this video. So Ring doorbells are popular right now. And we have friends that threw a party about a year or two ago. And there's an actual Ring video of him trying to, because it's in an apartment complex. And so he has to go up some stairs. And there's a video of him going up these stairs and tripping and falling, and you hear him crash into like the shoe rack off camera.
Oh, Bubba!
I'm good.
You're fine. Come on, crawl in.
I'm good. I'm good.
And
That's so funny.
it's ridiculous. I mean, I don't know. And you're a big man. And so that's a whole lot of like body to crash
Do you
into.
remember that?
I do, because I've seen the video a number of times.
But if you didn't see the video, would you have remembered that?
No.
Really?
There was also a mysterious hole in the wall.
Oh, okay.
Mysterious.
That was oddly my backside.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, Jules.
I can't remember the last time I blacked out like that.
I didn't black out that night.
I've never blacked out from
Really?
alcohol.
Except when you make TikTok videos.
yeah. I blacked out off edibles.
Nice.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That's
was
called
all.
passing out.
Well, I literally blacked
Don't
out.
even remember.
Like,
Whoa, green out.
Everything was like black though, and I'd see everything. I was through like a hole almost, and then I swore it was laced, but it was my second time ever getting high, and I had half an edible.
What was the edible?
It was just some homemade brownie.
Ah.
And like the person I took it with, he was a huge stoner at the time, and he said this was the only edible that's ever got him high. And I just took half, and that was the only time I've ever like passed out or blacked out or anything like that off like weed, alcohol.
Were you scarred afterwards?
Yeah, a little bit. I've only done edibles a couple times since that. That's why I'm like, you just have no control. Like, it's all fun until it's not, and then you're just like done for days.
I agree, because the amount of times that I've like had edibles, I could count on my hands.
Yeah.
And
14.
You're like, how many hands do you
because
have?
it's scary, because it gives you this like body high, and then like I just can't. I like being in control.
Yeah, and when you're smoking weed, you could feel yourself getting higher and higher and higher. But then with the edible, it's like you just guess. It's like either this is gonna be fun, or I'm not gonna be high enough, or I'm gonna be dead.
It's good luck.
No in between. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no perfect. I mean, I don't understand like dosage when it comes down to like edibles and whatnot. And I mean, because like I don't smoke too much weed. Like I do every now and then. It's truly a special occasion. He gets really excited when I'm like,
Oh, really?
I don't do it. I don't like edibles either, because they're just, well, one, everything in California can only be 100 milligrams now, which is super lame.
I didn't know that.
oh, that's part of
my
really.
voice
Yeah,
just,
like the
went out.
things, like the candies or whatever, the package can only add up to at least to 100 milligrams. But I remember back in the Wild West days, you could get a brownie that was like 1,000 milligrams. You remember when I ate that one in Disneyland?
Jesus
And
Christ.
I
In
couldn't even
Disneyland?
talk. Nobody
Oh
could
my
understand me. Everybody thought I was just like, blah, 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 and they'd be like,
And
what
you probably
the
thought
fuck
you were
are
making perfect sense.
No, I knew I couldn't.
You're like everyone else just isn't making sense.
I did
You're
think-
all dumb.
I did think I had mental powers when we were standing in line, and I was like, this line's taking too long. We should leave. And then everyone was like, all right, we're going to a different ride. And I was like, I did it. I did it with my brains.
You probably said it out loud, too.
I think I probably we should go somewhere else.
Do you not think Disneyland is like the proper place to get high?
No, I feel like it's a place to do shrooms. My mom did shrooms at Disneyland.
Yeah, that's a
on her
great
grad
idea.
night. I feel like, but you have to be like,
You have to be happy.
yeah, you have to be in control of it. Like, you have to know how they affect you, because like, imagine going on like the Alice in Wonderland ride, right? That's already super trippy, and then like being on shroom. I don't know. I've
Splash
never
Mountain.
like actually done shrooms like that. I've microdosed. Like
Okay.
today, I microdosed.
Oh, you did?
Nice.
Yeah, you can't tell because I'm not like, it doesn't do anything to you. It just helps your brain in the same capacity that like a full trip would do.
Hey, Lauren.
Except
We can tell.
no, you cannot. Except you, I'm like seeing shit. I'm like, well, look.
Cut back to where she has like a hat on, like
She's
a steel.
drooling.
I'm
and
like, did
just
you
like,
just see that bird over there? And you're like, what the fuck? But
You can't even tell.
yeah, I'm like, it's like the same benefits that a full trip would give you, but it's like over time.
Oh, it's a slow release.
Yeah,
but one
much.
time I did a full like hero's dose and ate like an olive and understood how food gives us power in life.
And then the olive had emotions. So
I
just
respect
felt so
food
bad
more
for it.
now. I understand. It gave its life. This tomato
I feel
gave
like
its life for me.
it's a guessing game. I feel right. Like I don't because you have to.
No, not now. California has it pretty dialed in. California and Oregon has it pretty dialed in.
But I feel like you have to be in like very specific situation. You have to be in
Oh,
like
you
a good
personally.
mental. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
A good state of mind.
Mentally, for sure. For
Yeah.
microdosing, though, you don't because you don't get high.
Yeah.
Like you don't physically feel anything happening to you. It's just like over time your thoughts could be clearer. And like I'll do it maybe once every couple of weeks. I started it like a month ago, and I already feel like even when I go to therapy, like I could just process stuff better because I'm like I don't want to like hallucinate, I guess. But then now I'm like maybe it won't be that bad if I do that.
Spend a day by the pool. Why not be sitting there just being like, no.
Yeah.
just feel good.
Yeah.
Because
It just makes you laugh a lot.
I've never done it. Like I've taken shrooms once when I was like in high school and I was blackout drunk.
Cops got him. We got him, guys. There he is. There he is.
The brown guy. It's the brown guy.
We fucking got another one, Lauren.
I've only taken it once, and it was when I was blackout drunk, and so I don't
waste.
count
Yeah,
it. I don't
waste.
count it at all. And supposedly, I was just in the car screaming top of my lungs.
Screaming. Oh my God.
Drunk shrooms is a bad mix.
It sounds like
Yeah.
shrooms with anything might be
Yeah.
a bad mix.
Yeah. No, you should. Well, shrooms and weed go hand in hand.
Do they?
Yeah.
Is it legal to grow it yourself in the state of California?
No,
I think
but
it's
there's like
decriminalized
a
in a lot of
few.
places.
Yeah, it's decriminalized in Oakland.
Okay.
So like, that's where I got mine from. Some guy that lives in Oakland. So it's like it's not legal, but it's like
Not illegal.
he could be at an event, at like a vendor event. There was like a street market, and then he was just set up there. He had his stuff there. It like was super like non-sketchy at all, and he also sold jewelry. And then he had his sign for the shrooms. And I was like, I didn't even know you could like
Yeah.
be
'Cause
like
it's,
that.
it's out there. You're selling it, and you would think that like
There's like security police around.
Yeah, it's like a farmer's market.
Yeah, no, literally.
Well, regular mushrooms can have effects on your body and like, make you feel certain ways. So
Yeah.
it's just these in particular, for whatever reason, they've been like, these are the ones we don't like. These are the ones that you can't do because they're too fun. These are too much fun. No much fun for America.
So there's like a limit to it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like let's take
Because mushrooms make your brain work better. Like shiitake
that's-
mushrooms and portobello mushrooms.
Oh, that's not what I was talking about. But like,
But mushrooms as a whole, like that fungus
benefits.
reacts with our body
Yeah.
really well. And it's just like, and they have all these different usages, and like, some make us trip, some eat and taste like meat, some are like big enough and could satiate, a family of 4. I don't know.
crazy
yeah,
jump.
that was like a big jump. We're just like,
I'm also
are
thinking
you on shrooms right now?
He's also
whoa.
Can you tell he's a salesman? He was a salesman prior to being a bartender.
Were you a salesman? Try to sell
yeah.
something to me right now.
Okay. Have you ever thought about taking shrooms?
Yeah.
She's already taking it.
Then you're already sold. Then
Sell it to me because I'm the one that's like an amateur. I mean, I've never.
Do you like colors?
Yeah.
Do you like laughing?
I love it.
Try some psychedelic mushrooms.
I hate laughing.
Hate laugh.
Do you enjoy chocolate? No. Do you like kittens? No.
Just a very sad man.
Yes.
What is it about? So, speaking of decriminalizing certain drugs, how come salvia is just something that's like looked past, even
That
though it
probably,
makes
like,
you
No,
melts
salvia.
your brain
Salvia
or
is
something.
illegal. Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
It was illegalized right after people in our grade started doing it, dude.
So when
Like it was like when we experimented with it.
I don't think I've ever done it with you.
Oh, okay.
I've only done
But,
it
like,
once.
The time that it was popular,
Yeah.
was right as it was being illegalized.
Interesting. Really? Because
Yeah.
I was able to buy it at just a smoke shop, or
Yeah.
like someone bought it at a smoke
Oh,
shop.
really?
And then,
Yeah.
and then
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
And you could just like roll
walk
it
into
up.
Berkeley and yeah.
And so
What the?
I don't know. I mean, have you ever done it?
No, I've
It's-
done nothing. I've done weed, shrooms, and alcohol. But not even actual shrimp, just microdosing.
Christian, your turn. List.
I'd rather not. I'd rather not right now. Water and
me neither.
You've done everything.
Pepto-Bismol and Slim Fast.
You're like crack, meth, heroin.
Just straight up go into it.
The cops come in.
Once I ate a light bulb. Didn't get me high, but I did that.
See, that's something you could do if you're like hallucinating off of some shit. Is bite
I don't
into
think
a light
so.
bulb.
No.
What?
No, that's what people tell. That's what they told us in Dare to scare us.
Yeah.
Nobody has ever taken acid and baked a baby. Like that's a made up story. Also,
Is that you haven't done that?
No, well, not yet. And also, nobody's
You're like,
had.
that's on the bucket list.
Nobody's had razor blades in their Halloween candy. All these are just old wives' tales.
I know.
That our parents told us to have us
I
not be
remember
dicks.
I was always told, like, in my Halloween candy, I'm gonna get drugs. I'm like, where are they?
Why? Why would they do that?
Dude, right?
Like,
Well, I
that
remember.
was always my question. Why?
my
Don't they
parents
pay
are like,
money
they're not
for
giving
drugs?
their drugs away for free.
Yeah, of course.
Like, that's what they told me.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, well then there's razor blades in it. So like,
You're like, good.
what kind of Batman villain is in our neighborhood?
Let's break down
is
that
just
process. So, like, let's say it's like a king size Snickers bar, right? And someone has to open up the Snickers,
Shove a
put in-
razor blade in.
Yeah.
Right at the weight that you're gonna
You're the
bite
type
into
of guy
it.
that would do that. You're like, come here, trick or treat at
He's
my
trying to figure it out right now. That's why he's asking us. So what? What would you do?
So,
You're like, so what exactly do you do
and
step
how?
by step?
How do they seal it back up?
slow down. And then you melt the chocolate at what?
The truth is that whole rumor came from one sick dentist in like the 1930s who did put laxatives in a bunch of candies and it made a bunch of kids shit their pants. But that's just one mean man who had like a kid piss on his yard or something.
That's just one mean man trying to look out for kids from gaining out too many calories.
Yeah, he didn't want to deal with the cavities anymore, so he was like, this will get him.
This will get him to stop eating. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, we figured it out,
Bring him
guys.
in. You just have him.
Bring him in. The first time
The ghost of Dr. Pendansky.
I started hearing about that shit, like my mom was telling me, don't go trick-or-treating. This was like 2002. And she's like, don't go trick-or-treating. The terrorists put anthrax. They put anthrax in all of the Jolly Ranchers.
Man.
And I'm like,
I miss anthrax. I miss a good old-fashioned scare where they're putting the shit in envelopes in every house in America. People were scared to check the mail when anthrax was going around.
I didn't check mail, but I was like watching my mom open envelopes thinking it was just gonna pop out like confetti.
And then she's like dead.
And then she's dead.
I don't even. Does anthrax make you die immediately? Do
I
you
don't even
get
know
sick?
what that is, to be honest.
Yeah, you missed the whole anthrax scare.
Yeah, just like some powdered drug that would just kill you.
I actually anthrax might actually be a fungus, much like a mushroom.
Now you're selling anthrax.
Yeah, no, hey, listen, ISIS. I got a guy.
That I don't know. That stuff scares me. But
Anthrax.
Let me ask you.
Go ahead.
Speaking of the topic, at this age, is it okay for us to trick or treat? Like, are we?
No. We're 30-year-old men.
So it's not okay.
If we don't have a
I
child
feel
with
like
us.
if you had a kid to borrow and like bring with you, then like you could get candy too, but just
I
like
have
on your own,
I have
or
a
you'd have
number-
to like trade them. I feel like you'd have to give them
There has
like
to be a transaction.
Hey, kid.
like a
Hey,
little
kid, what do you
bottle
got
of
in there?
alcohol or something. Or you have to go, you have to like rob a kid. You like give
You
me
want
like
me to rob kids?
It's as easy as taking candy from a baby.
Not doing that.
Hey, I got a bunch of kids you could borrow for trick-or-treating.
I don't want to
you just
borrow.
have like a room full of them.
Scary.
I got a guy. Actually, it's a gal.
All of you guys are, both of you guys are out of pocket.
Hey, I'm going
just sitting here
I'm going
talking.
trick-or-treating with a bunch of kids. It's gonna be great.
That's good. But like when you're saying sentences like, hey,
You're like they're in the back of my van right now.
Right now,
Yeah.
I'll
You wanna-
find you a kid.
borrow a kid. I mean, I think it would be if we had really good costumes. If we
That
had
makes it
really
scarier.
good-
A full-grown man in like a perfect Doc Brown or like a perfect Quentin Tarantino character.
Yeah.
You'd be like, I'm not answering the door.
What?
Really?
No.
I feel like
I get scared when teenagers
I feel like
come.
I give them no. Teenagers are intimidating.
They're
though.
scary. They have nothing to
No,
lose. They have no
middle
scruples.
middle schoolers.
Really?
If I go somewhere and there's a group of middle school girls, I'm like, should I just leave?
Why is that? Do you think they're just
No,
talking mad shit?
Nowadays,
guns.
there's TikTok and there's like social media. I didn't have that when I was in middle school. I didn't have like I don't know. Middle schoolers are different nowadays.
But
they're
you don't
like cool. I was not cool.
But
at
you don't
all.
think if since you're fairly successful on TikTok, you don't think that you could flex on these middle schoolers?
I was just gonna say.
I don't think about that. Though.
Every middle schooler I've ever
You're a
met.
good person.
I'm not like thinking about. I don't know. It's just like
All the middle schoolers that I know, and it's not many, but when they find out I have a podcast, they instantly think I'm the coolest person ever.
They're clout chasing you.
So
all
you
of a
should
sudden.
just tell these little girls that you have a TikTok, and then they'll think, even if it's not even good or popular, they just love that fact.
I have like 2 followers. I'm like, yeah, I have a TikTok. It's like,
yeah, we do too.
No, literally. They'll probably be more like famous than I don't even know.
They're not doing Domino's commercials.
No, they're doing dancing, probably.
Oh, I saw a girl dancing at the grocery store today, and I was
it Charlie D'Amelio?
I don't.
I casually saw her.
Just at the grocery store in Vallejo?
Just like,
I think his name's David Dobrik. It was just this girl dancing, and I was like, well, that's nice that she's dancing. But then I realized she was like listening to a TikTok thing, and I was like, oh, she's like practicing the TikTok dance, which answers my question. Do these children practice the TikTok dances? And the answer is yes.
Yeah.
They must. They can't just turn it on and try it. But like,
that's what we did for like the Soulja Boy dance.
yeah, we had to fucking do it over and over and over again. I don't know. I feel weird. TikTok's a whole other animal that we just post clips on and we get some views on it. What do you think is the secret to the success of this short form social media rage?
And does it help that you're a girl?
I think, yeah, for
Good question.
sure. For sure it helps. I think also people's attention spans, and like after COVID, people can't sit in a classroom anymore and just like listen to something. People don't even watch YouTube that much anymore because it's like long form content. People just like want something quick, then they want something different, then they want something quick, different, like boom, again and again and again. That's exactly what TikTok is.
What have you learned via trial and error from your content creation that has made you a better TikToker?
Honestly, it's just about like, if you want a video that's viral, you have to have something that like that you just kind of throw in and it shocks people enough that it's not like controversial, but it's something that will get people talking, but it's something they could easily miss. Because then they could like watch it again, then they're like, wait, am I seeing that right? Then they watch it again.
Adding
then the
views.
algorithm is like, okay, more time was spent on this video, so then it shows to more people, because on like the back end of it, the more time they see someone stays on a video, they're like, oh, people are liking this, so we want to show it to more people. And then that happens again because you have that little thing added in that people are trying to catch, and then they want to leave a comment about it because people like giving their opinions.
In your situation, what is that little thing in your videos?
It's something different every time. Like one time I was spraying cooking spray on a pan, but I had it look like it was like cleaner I used. So, and then I like backed it up. So then it showed like it on the camera, right? And then it showed me like back it up, and then it showed the spray, and then people are like, did you use cleaner on that? And then I gaslight them. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, it's so fun to do. Or I'll say something like hella out of pocket, and then people will be like, did you say that? And I'm like, I think you're hearing things because I don't hear that. And then they'll watch it again because they'll be like, no, she for sure said that. But you have to like
banana nut muffin.
No, you have to say like, it's usually not that appropriate, but like but it works.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how, but
it's crazy because watching your videos, I think what intrigued me the most is just like, I think these are the pulling factors. Like the Hannah Montana cookbook is incredibly genius. The fact that you capitalized on this,
and it's nostalgic.
Exactly.
So people are like remembering stuff from their childhood, and they're like, oh my god, I forgot about this. And then I add in the other stuff. And
and then they're gonna watch it to the end. I mean, I watched it to the end because I want to see like, does this dish actually work?
Yeah.
And then you throw it in the trash. And then also a great sprinkle of your like inappropriate humor. You said, I like my men like I like brownies, you know, rich and so forth.
Yeah.
And so that's really good I mean, like, what does it make you feel like? Do you feel like a lot of reward from this? Do you feel like because you were saying that you feel like your persona on social media is different than your persona like right now, right? Does that make you feel like weirdly inauthentic as a creator, or what?
I don't know, because people have told me that I'm actually like how I am on social media in real life. Like, and I'm like, maybe I could see that because I do have kind of like I guess my personality is kind of like a stronger personality. Like, I'm not so muted and like, I don't know. I don't have like a low personality. Yeah. So I'm like, I can see why people think I'm the same. It's just like the way I say things, I think.
Gotcha.
Is what, like, I say it in like almost like a scripted way, but it's not scripted. Like I'll think of jokes to say and sometimes I'll write them down, but I don't actually script it. So I feel like when I'm talking, I'm just trying to like remember what I've said and to like go through it. So then it becomes kind of scripty. And then I don't know. It's so hard to explain, but I think that's what makes me feel so weird about watching it back. Because I'm like, this is so weird. Just see me doing this. But I think that goes into that third person thing. Because everyone I've met have been like, no, you're exactly how you are online
nice.
In real life.
That's really nice.
I'm like, I don't know. You haven't seen it, I don't think. But I don't know if you think I'm like that.
I've seen some of them.
Like, oh, really?
Yeah.
I think... No, I could definitely see it. I could see that it's a part of you.
Yeah,
for sure.
But, you know, you making content, I could notice that it is you with a little bit of oomph because it's...
Well, you're content creators yourself, so you know you have to kind of like... You can't just like talk normally. You have to kind of put a little bit of emphasis on what you're saying. Yeah. If not, people are going to be bored with it because like you have to be excited about it. But, yeah.
Even with like recording these episodes, like we have to... It's performative, definitely too.
Yeah.
Are you okay over there?
I keep hitting. I hit my elbows and then I hit it again, and I just I'm getting self-conscious.
Too big for the studio. It's with when the cameras turn on and when the microphones turn on. Like as much of a podcast, as much as I'd like for a podcast to be like truly authentic, which it is. Like I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I feel like it's flowing and like I'm saying what I get to say. It's inevitable that we're just like trying to think of like. Be funny.
You have to be quick and just like if we were just sitting there like talking like we were before this, it flows a little differently. And I feel like people that aren't any sort of content creators don't fully understand that it's not being authentic. It's just like
being on.
It's just getting people to watch it. Yeah. You have to do what people want to see.
Yeah.
And that's not always like not being true to yourself. It's just knowing what people like. And playing into that a little more, which I think is okay too, as long as you're not like sacrificing who you are.
Babies.
Your actual
You're not
morals.
sacrificing babies.
You're not sacrificing babies.
That's okay if you do that.
This episode has been about sacrificing babies, anthrax, and not stabbing people and just shooting them instead.
Well, Halloween's coming up, so we have to like
perfectly.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I wanted to ask. We were not supposed to. It was like in our text threads of like, hey, do you want to dress up for this? I'm kind of down. You kind of down? I'm kind of down. Let's see what's
and then
up.
Here we are. Just...
And
not dressed up at all.
You forgot your costume at your doorstep prior to leaving. What was your costume going to be?
A boxer. A pink boxer. It was one of the only costumes I had.
So what does that entail? Just like boxer
Rocky
shorts?
Rocky Balboa boxer?
It was like a sports bra and like shorts and then just like a pink robe.
And we're going to wear gloves the entire podcast?
Well, I was probably going to put them around my neck.
Oh, that's so good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because it would have been hilarious if you were just like trying
you
to like...
You could just like Photoshop that on me. We could just Photoshop costumes on me.
I will try my best.
Would you explain that to your dad, or would you be like driving and then he just looks over at you dressed like a boxer?
No,
like, so
my dad wouldn't have cared. Like he would just be like, okay. Like my
Boxer
parents are
night,
really
huh?
chill. And also like even when it comes to like inappropriate Halloween costumes, my dad's always been the one that's like, as long as your parts aren't actually showing, it's fine. Wow. And my mom's been the one that's like, pull up your top, which is so weird.
Interesting.
Because usually families are not like that. Usually the dad's like, no, don't do that.
You're not showing any skin,
yeah,
no
and my
torso.
dad's like very open in his body too. Like he's not like that, but he's like self-confident. So he's always tried to like raise my sister and I to be as well. But my mom, she is a little more like, I guess like guarded with herself. So then that's what projects.
I see.
So I'm like, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Christian, your mom used to make you pull the girls out when you would dress and stuff.
No, she's fine with my body. I used to dance Tahitian, which I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's like a form of hula dancing.
Oh.
As
Yeah, I'm like, wait, I kind of know.
I've seen Lilo and Stitch.
Or I would wear banana leaves like on my...
I'm like, oh, I have no clue what you're talking about.
Oh, continue.
But like that's as body positive as it gets because like...
Can you show us a couple moves?
I'd rather not. I'd rather
I
not.
mean, you brought it up. Can
On
you show
camera?
us just one move?
Pull
You could
out
look
the
it up.
gun.
It's not going to be appeal. It makes no
You
sense
better
without the
get those
music.
grass skirts on.
You could play the ukulele you go.
Clunk, 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 clunk.
Wait, I can play it actually.
Oh yeah, because you learned in the past 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Got it down.
That's good skill.
I mean, but with that costume, it's I was basically wearing almost nothing, just like cloth over my bits.
Your nonads.
And I was a chubby kid. I mean, those are boobs, those are tits that are out, right?
It looks like Jack Black.
I mean, at least his nipples were out, so.
Were your nipples not out?
They're inside out. I've told you this.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
When you get to a certain level of obesity,
It has nothing to do with being fat. I dated a girl who had that.
inside out nipples,
Yeah, inverted.
inverted.
Not
Actually,
inside out. That's
same thing, dude.
No.
Same. What, did they eventually pop out?
yeah, of course they do.
Okay. Good.
You know that.
Well,
Your
I know
nipples
mine
came
did.
out. Everyone's do.
From growing into my nipples.
Nipples changed, bro.
Okay.
How did we get here?
Body positivity. Oh,
yeah.
Halloween
I was
costumes.
We're talking about inverted nipples.
I'm sorry. This is how we are. We lose track of ourselves.
What's the male equivalent for
Inverted penis. Sorry, is that not the question?
That's a belly button.
Wait, is that what a belly button is? Wait, what?
No, I thought that's how babies were made.
From inverted penises.
Belly buttons.
Through a belly button? You thought you gave birth through a belly button?
It's like an electric plug.
I hate this.
You're like, scratch the whole thing, go home.
Did you see yourself doing what you're doing now when you were younger? Like, were you someone that was extroverted, that cracked jokes like this? Or like,
Oh yeah, I'd put on performances for my family.
What kind
now
of
there's just
performances?
people on the internet that watch it. I would do. I'd
bigger
put on
crowd.
like I had a karaoke machine and I'd put on singing concerts for my family. I knew I couldn't sing. I didn't care.
what would you sing?
It was like Hannah Montana sometimes.
Let's hear
Hell
it.
yeah.
Let's hear
Fuck
it.
No.
You wouldn't do it right now?
No.
We have
You
a
could-
karaoke machine.
If
No.
you sing right now, he'll sing right now.
I'll sing with
I
you.
don't want you to sing right now. But, I put on little I don't know. I dress up in like some fancy outfit. I just put on little shows. If my sister, someone looked down or like did anything, I'd restart the whole thing over and over again.
And rightly so.
And that is actually, I've talked to a therapist about that. They're like, that's probably a little bit of emotional trauma. Like your parents were probably emotionally unavailable, so you felt like you had to make some big like performance to get the attention you deserved. I'm like, I was just trying to tell you a funny story. Like, don't
So-
be getting into
Wait,
this right
when
now.
you were a kid, did you ever get a cardboard box and make it into like a TV and then pretend to be like a newscaster?
I
No,
like that.
but I'd take a cardboard box and I'd slide down my stairs and then it would like fly. I'd be that kid at birthday parties. No, and then I'd fly off the bottom and then I'd bust my ass and my mom would be like, well,
Oh, she just let you learn the lesson that way?
yeah. It
We're
worked.
getting the tile removed next week. She'll be fine.
No.
Because I would get yelled at. I would do this thing when in my first house.
You'd eat all the food in the fridge.
That too. I would, when it was time for dinner, I would run down the stairs as fast as I could, but I tried to expedite the amount of time that it would take for me to get down. So I would compete with myself and see how many steps I could jump from top to the bottom.
I mean, you can only play that game, what, 12 times?
No, you can play it more than that.
Well, because eventually you get to 12, you have to jump over all of them.
Yeah.
No, because I never got to all of them.
Oh, because if you didn't beat your record, you didn't move on.
Yeah, I kept on
I
trying.
get it
I
now.
kept on competing with myself. So at some point, it was just like 6.
Do you think your parents would hear it and just be like, "Oh, he's
There he
doing,
goes again."
Yeah, he's doing the stair thing
Yeah,
again."
yeah, definitely. And like I constantly hurt myself. I was just such a klutz.
Limping into the dining room.
I think stuff like that kind of led to me also we're performers for a reason, right?
Yeah. I feel like you're born. Like
A
either
star.
you're born into it or not. Well, it's just like your personality. Like, are you more
thank you.
extroverted? Not yours.
Oh,
Are you like introverted, extroverted? Like, I don't know. I feel like people don't usually change with that. And I always wanted to do I wanted a YouTube. And then I did that. And I'm like, I don't actually like this. I just like having the memories of like creating like vlogs or something than having something to look back on. But then TikTok is fun too because you could just do different stuff all
Yeah,
the
it
time.
doesn't have to be the same thing.
Exactly.
What did you do on YouTube?
I just do like vlogs. I still do it, but I don't really care who watches them. I don't even look at my views. I have like maybe 600 subscribers. And I just do it so I have that memory.
That's nice.
Because growing up, my family always filmed. They'd make
Sure.
like little home videos. I'd always want to record too. And I'm like, if I go to school, I'd want to go for like cinematography or something of like filming because I like making videos. I like production. I've worked in production, but I'm like, it's so much money.
Would you prefer
for
to
that.
be behind the camera or in front of the camera?
Or
If
the
you're in
camera.
street.
I'd prefer to be the camera. I think both. Because with production, I like having a vision and then working with like a director or someone and then seeing that actually happen and being like, okay, I came up with that. And now it's like a real thing that happened.
Wow.
But then I also like being in front of the camera too, because it's just fun sometimes. And like, I obviously lack attention in my life. So like,
So did we.
Yeah, that's why you're like.
Give me 3 reasons right here.
Well, I think a commonality that we have between the three of us is that we have older siblings, right? And there has to be something about it.
Wow.
That's true. That
has
just
to be
like blew
about
my
it,
mind.
right?
No, that's for sure.
Because you're born into a
You're like competing.
So
you're
we
like,
should kill
you're
our
like, you have to
siblings.
compete.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
yeah.
That's
Sacrifice
the
babies and
answer.
sacrifice
They're like, bring him
siblings.
in.
Bring him in, boys. It's the loony bin here to take me away.
But that's what it is. You're born into a competitive sibling rivalry, as opposed to them when they grew up. They had
Everyone looked at
Right.
him.
a few years of attention. Yes, they were the child.
That's crazy.
But then you're born into it, and yeah, you have the attention, but you
Don't have enough.
don't.
It's
And
never enough.
and it depends. I mean, like, are you anything like your sister?
No.
What is she
not
like?
at all. Like, first off, everyone in my family has brown hair.
Okay.
Nice.
I don't dye this, so maybe I'm not even my own family's kid.
Oh, whoa.
Who knows?
This is
Give me
They're
that
like,
Cherokee
bring him
card
in.
that you have then.
No, literally. But she's like into like Dungeons and Dragons and like
Cool stuff.
her husband's in the military and like it's so weird to
Really cool
explain how she is because you just have to like look at her and it's like black and white.
Yeah.
And my parents always said like we're complete opposites. Anything that she did, I'd try to do something different, which is why I tried to like not film for the longest time or do anything film related because she did that. And even though she went to school for psychology, I'm like mentally ill, so that
Nice.
like kind of matches opposite, right? But
That's ill.
she was like a filmer and she did videography and stuff in that realm. And then I just didn't want to do that because I'm like, that's gonna be like being like her. But then I actually did. I'm like, oh, I really like this. But
So there are some things in line of like, I want to do these things, but you avoided doing it because she.
yeah, because
Was
I
also
didn't
doing
want to be like her. I didn't want to be like someone else. And I feel like a lot of times, especially when you have an older sister, all the teachers, by the time I went to the high school I did, they knew my older sister. So they knew I was coming and my mom worked at the school. So they like had this kind of like idea in their head of what I was going to be like. I'm like, I'm just going to nip that in the ass right now and completely break that. And then they're like, oh, she's kind of bad. But I wasn't really. I didn't just sit there and behave all day, every day. I liked to kind of like,
Stir shit up.
I just didn't like to be told what to do. And that's why I'm like, I want to go back to college, but I'd want to do like online classes or something where I'm not like told all the time, you have to do this right now. Because for me, especially high school, it's just funneling you into like the same place as everyone else.
Oh yeah, I mean we've had this
Out the door.
conversation. Well, they don't. We've talked about like how the educational system is. Man, it's flawed.
And
in
it's
so
all
many
for
ways,
profit
man.
too, like the SATs, ACTs. I didn't take it.
Same. I didn't. I went straight to a community college.
I went that morning. I was supposed to have my ID card. I didn't have it. They were like, okay, if you could get in 10 minutes, you could take it. Had my mom drive it back real quick. And then they were like, nope, it's too late. Then I was like, okay, fuck this. And then in that moment, I was like, I'm not going to college. I went to beauty school. I went to trade
love that.
school. And then I went to Whole Foods, got the most expensive breakfast you could ever think of.
Nice.
And then I went to a yoga class.
Wow.
That's what I did that morning instead of that. And then I was like, I'm not doing this. And then I found out that it's all for profit. That's why they push the ACTs on you so much, because these high schools get money back from the state for it. And then that's why the better the kids from that school do, the more like funding they get. Or I'm not sure like the specifics of it, but it is like funding or something, which is why like the schools that have really good SAT scores, they're like usually nicer, and the private schools, and
because it comes down to the money.
It's all about money.
The incentive.
They don't care about you.
It's not about your knowledge or your progression of your career. Yes, there are specific teachers that truly do care about their students, but the system as a whole. And right now, in this day and age, is the perfect time to not have to assimilate to the conventional education system, because look at what you're able to do from your phone at home.
Exactly.
With a Hannah Montana cookbook.
No, yeah.
No, but it's just like, really, those are just like, that's such a creative process of just like gathering these things that like.
Just like gathering resources of what you have
Yeah.
at home and like making something from it. But that's why I'm like, I like, no matter what I do, it has to be some sort of creative work. I determined that for sure.
I work in the biotech industry, and I did the conventional route to appease my parents because that's what my brother did.
Yeah.
So a lot of my childhood emotional trauma comes with my subconscious competition, because my brother got a lot of love for having been the golden child, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so I'm sure you feel the same way. So with that's why I started like dancing at family parties. That's why I started like singing a bunch, and because I was like, oh wow, I'm getting
what I'm lacking.
This kind of love.
Yeah.
I've said before is that like we are an amalgamation of those that are around us and things that we lacked.
Yeah.
Right? We're trying to chase something that we've never had, and we're also trying to be things that we never were.
Yeah. And also I feel like it's like just wanting to be different from other people too. Because with content creation, I'm like, okay, I know no one that does content creation. Of course now I do. But at the time I'm like, no one I know does this. I want to do this. Like I want it to be my thing. And like even when I went to beauty school, I'm like, I know other people that are doing this. And I originally went there because I wanted to do film and makeup, or film and TV makeup. So I wanted to work in the industry anyway, but I just didn't like find my place yet, because in high school when you're 18 they're like, you have to pick something right now. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm still like $4,000 in debt off that. So that's why I'm like, why are you trying to have an 18-year-old make a decision for the rest of their life? Like I feel like it should be normalized to wait a few years, then go to college, or like figure it out outside of high school.
Because you're kind of rushed. Like let's go back to like when we were in high school. It was just 4 years of a time when of what
pain.
Yeah, I'm sure depending on like that's definitely existing in.
No, I had fun in high school,
but that's my point.
Too.
It's like it's a time for you to kind of it's so cliche, but find yourself and like socialize.
Find your personality and like make friends. And I feel like it shouldn't be so serious, because it's like we're like 14 or 18.
Yeah, and then after that it's just like, okay, what do you want to do
for the rest of your life?
The next 40 years.
Pick it right now. Like
I'm like, I don't fucking
know.
No,
literally. And it's like you pick wrong, you're in debt. You want to do something else, you're going to be in more debt. Like you want to make money to get out of debt. Now you have to find a job in this industry that you don't want to do.
It's insane. My dad made me, when I was trying to figure out a major. Why are you making that face?
I just want to move to the mountains and never talk to anybody ever again. Just
it's okay. You don't have to, because guess what? We don't have to abide by this, and you could find not just success, but I guess like your own form of happiness with other things.
Yeah.
Because like, dude, I went to UC Davis, and then I sat in classrooms of 200, where I'm like, I'm paying top dollar for this. My family's paying top dollar for this to get a proper education, when it's just a dude that is saying things at us that I could get from like a PowerPoint
or like YouTube.
That he puts up. Or YouTube.
Literally so much of like any education. No, yeah, that too. Like nowadays, TikTok, YouTube. YouTube is so underrated in terms of like education. I learned how to edit videos from YouTube.
Same.
Like, all my video editing, that was my first job in the entertainment industry. Even before content creation was a video editor.
What were you editing videos for?
I was working for some guy that's like an influencer. I signed an NDA, so I can't.
Oh,
like, say
gotcha.
too much. Yeah, and
David Dobrik.
no, but it was someone that actually was
Johnny
friends
Depp.
with him before.
Oh.
Yeah, they had like interactions.
He was in
before.
David Dobrik
But
house.
The entertainment industry and like the influencer industry, everyone knows everyone.
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
So it's not even that like big of a deal. But
David Dobrik.
yeah, no, it wasn't.
Well, just like in like a that makes sense with like the industry gets smaller the bigger you get in it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The more you're involved in it, the tighter it is.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, being someone new and trying to break into the entertainment industry, it's so hard.
It's tough.
And I've done like background acting too I did one for like 13 Reasons Why on Netflix.
Nice.
I did something for Kevin Hart's like YouTube channel, just like minor stuff. And it's people that are like trying so hard to like break into this industry.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much impossible. And then sometimes like people either get stuck in background acting, then that's all they do, or they do have success. And then it's just like, it's literally impossible sometimes. And I even realize that because it happens so naturally for me. Like even for the Netflix show, so 13 Reasons Why, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but they reached out to me about it. And then I was talking to someone, they said, we waited in line for 8 hours for like an open audition. And I was like,
Wow.
I just had a profile on the right website at the right time, fit the right description. And that's a lot of what it is. And honestly, more than anything else is knowing the right people.
Yep.
Like no matter what anyone says, it's just about knowing the right
It
people.
truly is.
And I hate to say that, but you could go to school, you could do all these acting classes, just know the right person and you're in.
and
That's
they'll
it.
give you the opportunity because word
Yeah.
of mouth travels fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's more trustworthy than like because people we always look better coming from someone's mouth. Sorry, this was rather than like how people view us on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
You know, so it truly is how it's worked. I mean, from the few opportunities that I've had, it's been just through knowing people.
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts on that? Do you think it's kind of shitty that you could be the best actor or actress in the world, and yet if you don't know the right
Yes,
person?
because it goes into like, it's such a privileged thing.
Yeah.
And it's like also like we were talking about Charli D'Amelio earlier just as a joke, but like, do you think she'd be as famous as she is if she wasn't born into a rich white family?
Yeah.
Genuinely.
There's factors.
Like, probably not. Maybe.
I mean, at the
but-
least, it gives you the time to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're not
exactly.
stressing
Because
on
you're not
other
having to
things.
do a job.
Yeah. You don't have to
There's
catch the
just-
bus to go downtown.
There's a huge privilege to it, which does suck, but it's just kind of one of those things like, I don't want to say it is what it is, but I just don't know what else
What
it
the
would
answer
be.
is, yeah.
Like I could help someone as much as I can. I could break people into the industry when I can,
Mm-hmm.
but it goes beyond just me. Like there's always going to be someone bigger that you have to get past.
You can only do so much.
Exactly.
There's always a boss at the end of the level.
Yeah.
What are your
Final boss.
I like that. Bowser.
Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, that was two very different things.
I don't need the job. I don't need the job. What are your guys' thoughts on nepotism in the acting industry? Let's take Ethan Hawke's and Uma Thurman's daughter, for instance, who is just like a breakthrough actress now. What's her name?
Maya Hawke.
Maya Hawke, yes, who is in Stranger Things and who's
Maya
in
Hawke.
a lot of things on Netflix. How do you guys feel about that?
She knew the right people.
Yeah.
Her parents.
Yeah, literally. Like that's
Born
another
into it.
thing. Yeah.
But think about how many kids get roles because their parents were like producers or something like that. Like
Yeah.
it just happens how it is. You just got to be friends with them before
And they
they
have
get
like
famous.
the inside scoop on like how to do these things too,
Mm-hmm.
like how to act or it's so privileged, which sucks. And like, yeah, you hear those stories of the people like making it out, but it's such a privileged industry, especially like the more you get up in Hollywood and like the influencers. Like, let's talk about, I don't consider myself an influencer. I consider myself a content creator because my whole entire income is not off that.
Yeah.
And it's just
Interesting.
crazy because I know people whose is, and then they'll like have so much money, and then I see what they spend it on, and I'm like, you could have a house, but like you're so stuck living up to this whole influencer, like
Wow.
designer clothing, fancy dinners, but you could be having like multiple properties off this. which is crazy.
Crazy to think.
But you're paying to keep up with the influencer lifestyle.
I don't know, because if I were to reach that level, if any of us were to become influencers, what would you guys do with that, let's say, quote unquote, power?
Buy the fastest car, I'd find the hottest woman with the biggest, fakest tits, and we'd hop in a car in Miami, and I'd get a backpack full of cocaine, and we would just tear our way to New York. And by New York, I mean Atlantic City, New Jersey.
And then you're just broke as
Yeah,
fuck
and then
at
that's
the end of
all.
it.
If I make it there alive.
But
Yeah.
you got a good TikTok out of it, so
Hey, you
There
know
you
what?
go.
Yeah.
And hopefully that gets you a little bit of revenue to do your next fucking
They'll call
vlog.
me.
to do it again. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, they're
One
gonna
more
call
time.
me the new Tiger King.
God. We didn't even need an original.
It's okay, but it's crazy. It blew up.
But
We
now
watched it.
I'm a new one.
I know. I remember watching it. I was like, why am I watching this? And I kept watching it. I'm like, why am I still watching this? Watch it all. I'm like, why did I just watch this? But I still did. Like,
Classic reality show.
yep.
What's the trashiest reality show that you've...
It can't be
that's
that
your
bad.
Probably that.
Oh, wow.
But I'm not huge on reality TV. I like Love Island though.
That's pretty trashy.
Can someone talk to me about
Yeah.
Love Island? What's the concept? I've never seen it.
I think it's an island.
They put people in like kind of like a villa.
Okay.
So it's like maybe it's in Vegas or just SoCal somewhere. And then they
not an island.
bring in people that are hot and full of themselves. And they're like, okay, now you're going to meet other people that are hot and full of themselves. And then you're going to like try to fall in love with each other. Because if you do at the end, you'll get $50,000 if you like actually fall in love.
Not even that much
What?
money.
So they're forcing them to fall in love.
No,
for the money.
but on the production side, they have people come on that they think would fit with each other because they do all these interviews about like what's your type.
Okay.
So they kind of skew it in a way, but they're just like a lot of people that all think they're very hot and like they're the best looking and then put them with other people like that. So that's what makes it kind of entertaining.
They should put one person in there that knows they're ugly, just to throw them all off.
That what? Just like one
One like short, squat Quasimodo looking
actually
motherfucker.
ugly person and see what happens. That's
I'm-
entertainment. I
I'm
would
Ralph.
Oh, what was that one guy from I think it was like Love is Blind or something?
Yes.
And he was short and like chubby.
say. Was there a short chubby guy from Love Is Blind?
I don't know if that
Which
was
season?
it.
I don't know.
I just
No.
remember season 2.
No, it was
The girl who squints.
Ed.
Ed from 90 Day
90
Fiance.
Day
Yeah,
Fiance.
that.
See, that is a rare instance.
But wasn't he rich?
Yes, he was
yeah,
always rich.
Yeah. So that was the incentive there.
And
But someone that's like that but poor and like bad personality, not even personality can make it out. Just that would be real reality TV.
I'm a racist. Like, I guess
can't
this
put
is
this out.
fine.
I used to watch those VH1 reality shows.
Oh, like Flavor of Love.
Flavor of
and-
Love, and then I Love New York was like one of my favorites. Weirdly,
Never seen it.
It's
New
so-
York was one of the girls who tried to get with Flavor of Flav.
It was a spin-off from the Flavor of Love reality show, and
Yeah.
so like New York is this like ratchet girl.
Wasn't she the girl that spit on the other one?
Yeah, she was, which is why I mean it worked for her, right? That was entertainment, and through that she had her own show. And I remember, there was one guy, like everyone that was on the roster to try to date this girl was like cool, and they had swag and whatnot. And they're like, it made sense if she were to choose any of them. And there was one guy,
That it
one
would
white
not make
guy.
any sense.
His name was Jeff, I think, and he wore like khakis that weren't fitted and like a weird polo shirt, and he talked
They
like
just
this.
found him off the street. They're like, bring this guy in.
But he was my favorite character, and when he got
It
booted out,
worked.
I was like, "This show is
I'm done.
It's
legitimately
probably 'cause
trash."
You felt like you could like in a
Be
way
part
like
of it.
relate to him because he was just someone that felt real.
He was more normal.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
It's like,
Yeah.
did you ever see the Nathan For You episode where he does
I
a
love
fake?
that show.
Have you seen The Rehearsal?
I've seen the first episode.
I
Just
don't-
watched the first
I've
episode.
seen all of it.
Oh my god, I love it so much. He's such a fucking trippy guy.
Wait, what you were going to talk about though?
The episode where he does a fake love show, like Bachelor show.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
And he like has
But
to-
it's like for him.
and he's
Yeah.
fucking with the host the whole time. He's like, "Can you just stand over?"
Stand up-
stand
and
over
the
there.
host
'Cause
thinks,
the host is super hot.
yeah, he's a
He's
good-looking
super hot.
guy.
He was like, because they bring him back too for,
Later on, yeah.
and he's like, I actually didn't know what this was or whatever, and he tells him he's like, he was in a threesome with two guys, and then he's like, no, that's not what I said.
I mean, the beauty of that show is that everyone is not, because Nathan at the time, Fielder did. No one knew him, and so it's just like a guy with a camera crew. And they're just like, yeah, I'm trying to be on this like dating show.
You got to watch more of the rehearsals.
I feel like that's like real comedy though.
Yeah,
because you wouldn't know that he's joking unless you like knew the vibe of the show. If that was in real life, you'd be like, this guy's just super awkward. Like, what's going on? And that's why it works.
This is gonna bring me back to what I was trying to say about 30 minutes ago.
Oh, good.
Oh, about the sacrificing babies.
Not that part.
Like
or
that.
Do you get off to like awkward, cringy reactions or like cringy shows like that? Or just like your interactions with people, you're trying to get like you want me to stumble on like I don't know what to say to that, and you get like a dopamine rush from it.
I think maybe a little bit because it's just kind of funny for me. Like I don't like get off to it, but it's just, I think it's just kind of funny to fuck with people sometimes.
I love that, and I love Nathan for you, but I hate prank videos.
Yeah, because prank videos are so like
those are not funny.
Up.
Yeah,
that's why I'm like.
But how is it any different than a prank?
Because they're so like
smart.
No, like pranks, they're very unnatural, and I feel like with Nathan For You, it like naturally happens.
He really just like lets these people do their thing. And just like
and then he just kind of like steps in and like weird.
Oh, did you just say this? And like,
yeah, exactly. And then it's not something they said at all. I just like saying shit and then having people be like, how am I supposed to respond to that? But then I'm like, okay, it's a joke. I know it's a joke. I wouldn't like actually want to fuck with people in the sense of like, they're not sure if it's a joke or not. But I don't know.
It's a way to connect.
I think it's my sarcastic humor too.
You do right off the bat. I think I gauged that off of you is that you're pretty sarcastic.
I'm just having like a psychology analysis real quick on me.
I'm not. No, this is just how I talk to people. I'm kind of a weird guy where my transitions make no sense. The questions I like. We got pretty quick into like deep talk downstairs prior to recording, like not super deep, but
we were just like so open with each other. I feel like that's another thing about like people that are on camera in any way. They'll just naturally like spill out all their secrets, because they're used to it. They don't care.
Everything. We have nothing to hide. We've been doing this podcast for a while.
I killed a man.
I've said some of the wildest fucking stories on this podcast.
We had to apologize to the entire country of Algeria.
Shut up. No, we didn't, dude. I know, because since you don't know us, I don't know what you might or might not believe, but I mean...
The Algerian president was pissed.
Are we people that you think you would have gone along with when, let's say, when you were younger? Or like, do you think we would have gone along like in like high school?
I think so. I got along with a lot of people though. Like, I didn't have a group of... friends. Like I had friends from every single group. I did not care.
You were a floater.
Yeah.
Nice.
Can I call you a friend? Is that
are we friends?
I just get up
we're friends now? I gotta
go. Bring him in.
Oh, wow, Lauren unfollowed us.
Please delete that episode.
I thought she blocked me on her number. Okay, now I want to like guess how you dressed up in high school.
Back to this.
So you went to high school, let's say that's like, you graduated 5-6 years ago from high school?
5 years ago.
5 years ago.
You guess, and then I'm going to give a guess also.
All right, so class of 2017.
Yep.
All right, class of 2017, people are a little more hip. Skinny jeans weren't a thing for girls to wear. That's when like baggy or high-waisted mom jeans were kind of in, right? With the tears, to kind of like what you're wearing right now.
That's what you're describing.
I think
a black tank top.
No, I think it was still like tighter jeans, but they were like starting to get like a little looser.
Okay.
Like they weren't so skinny. Like I don't know. That's so hard to describe.
Where did that come from? Where was the trend? And like, how do girls like follow the fashion trends back? Like back in the day?
They read Cosmopolitan magazine, Christian.
I think it's just what you see at the store, and then what you see like the cool kids wearing. But you're just like, I don't know. I think for me it was like I go to the store, and then what I see on like the displays, I'm like, that's what's cool. Because I also look at like, it wasn't Pinterest at that time. It was like, like We Heart It, it's called, and that was me when I was in middle school. That's what I'd look at, and then I'd like see the clothes, and I'd be like, okay, that's what's cool, and then none of it was cool at all. But I just don't even remember for high school. I feel like I just wore what I felt like wearing.
I feel like cool. You wore gray sweatpants, Uggs, and a white sweatshirt.
That's our time, dude. That was like a few years.
I definitely wore Uggs.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Did you wear them over gray sweats like you had said?
No.
Oh.
I'd wear them with like skinny jeans, actually. Which is somehow even worse. Toms? I did.
You seem like a Tom's girl.
Great.
Yeah, you know, they actually destabilized a lot of countries' economies because they were giving away free shoes. So fuck that guy, Tom. Yeah. You don't think people know how to make shoes in Uganda? They do. They can make shoes in Uganda, Tom.
Do you think they actually gave away free shoes?
They did, and they fucked up the economies.
Oh.
Yeah, because everyone who was a cobbler lost their job.
Then they couldn't sell any shoes anymore. Yeah.
Because who's going to buy shoes if you get them for free from Tom?
But it's a good cause. I mean, like, on paper, it seems like a good cause.
The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yeah.
I mean, like, let's take Bombas, for instance. This is a brand of sock. I believe if you buy, like, X amount of Bombas, and correct me if I'm wrong, Internet, but, like, I think they give a free amount of sock. Everyone needs socks.
Will correct you if you're wrong. That's one thing I learned.
Dude, the comment section?
The difference is...
What?
Everybody needs multiple pairs of socks.
True.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Not just one pair of shoes.
Wait, the comments. What's the most controversial thing that you guys have said that you've been like attacked for?
We don't really get attacked for things we say. We do have one guy asking us to fart on camera.
We keep on. Yeah, there's like a weird.
I was like, is he like into that?
I don't know, but I told him to comment on 100 videos and not do it.
And now he's numbering it.
Good.
Now he's numbering it.
He's actually listening. Oh no.
The actual.
They can send you money and then do it.
pay money for farts.
You don't have to pay me to fart.
If people slide in my DMs and want feet pic, I sell them.
That happens, really?
Hold them up a little bit.
What are some of the craziest like
free promo?
Well, here, okay, I'm gonna tell you.
I'm like tugging my feet in out.
It's not for free because it's not free.
I know.
No, wait, Christian. What was the most controversial thing we said?
Oh, it was supposed to be like a comedy bit.
So I know what you're talking about.
I was just talking about like Alejandro wasn't here for that episode, so I made a clip of I had a guest on, and we were talking about the dating game, and I've been out of the dating game for like 8 years now, almost 9. So
you were never really in it.
But from what I was never really in it, it kind of just happened. Go me, but.
All right.
I'm talking about like a online dating. An observation that I'd made, and some from like friends that I've spoken to, and some articles that I read. They said that like Asian men have the worst chances on dating profiles because of stereotypes. And so I was just trying to make the joke. I was just like, yeah, that makes sense because like, you know, compared to a black guy has a bigger penis than an Asian man. But people on the internet were taking it so seriously. They're just like, hey, bro, you're projecting.
Yeah.
You're an Asian man. Like, all you got to do is have a good personality. It just seems like you have bad game. And I'm like, no, man, I was just trying to. But it stirred the algorithm, and that got a good amount of likes.
17 likes.
17
old people.
And your dad still talks to you even after that, huh?
Yeah.
No, that was a crazy thing, because I remember even when you posted it at first, I saw it, and I was like, this is going to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to do something.
You're like, maybe not in a good way.
So
but...
I'm glad I'm not on there.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be in a good way, because the video started off with me saying, Asian men. All Asian men are listening now, right? Asian men are at the bottom of the dating hierarchy. Like when it comes to like, you know, Latino men, white men, black men, Asian men are the ones that like generally will be looked past because we have the worst stereotypes.
Whoa, where are you getting this information? Is this like was this a survey?
You think of like an Asian man standing next to a big black man, and a girl is choosing between the two. She's going to be like, Asian guy has a small penis.
Damn.
Sad, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna compete with the big black man. He probably does have a bigger penis than I do, but I would like to think that like my personality can satisfy you.
Dude, we getting pussy with our personality.
I hope so. Yeah, definitely.
Shout out to Lil Dicky.
It was very late in the episode, or in the clip, that you say anything pretty controversial. So that's what I thought was really interesting. That I was like, oh, people are watching this entire thing and getting to the very end and then being like, what a cuck. And it's like, oh, that's why it's doing so well, because they're watching the whole thing.
But there's a bunch of like just keyboard warriors that they feel protected and they could like comment on your videos without even acknowledging or saying you. They talk about you in like a
third person. Yeah.
So like, what are some of the comment sections, comments in the comment sections that people say about you?
Do they ever talk about your cooking?
I mean, of course. They're like, ew, like, why are you holding the knife that way? I'm like, I'm going to do it again now.
Oh, my God.
Because now it's getting you to comment. So now I'm going to do it again. But
Hold it in your teeth?
there was one time I like wanted to get this video up and I recorded at like 3 a.m. right before I went to bed. And I was so tired and you could hear it in my voice. And everyone was like, why do you sound like that? Why do you sound like you're going to cry? And I was like, why am I even doing this? I was so offended at first. And that was like my first like hate comments. And I sound so tired, but I'm like, I don't sound like I'm going to cry. And I was having really bad allergies or I was sick or something. So I was super congested and people tore that apart. And it got over 1 million views.
Boom,
There you
baby.
go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's
why I'm like, but then I'm like, should I just like go jump off a bridge now or like what? But then I got over it. I'm like, people just say shit all
You
the
were
time.
able to wipe those tears with those views, right?
Yeah, literally. I'm like, I have 1 million views though.
Yeah,
So
fuck you. But it's, what do you think of it? I mean, they're mean.
People
on
are
the internet.
mean, especially on TikTok, because I'm like, they don't think people are actually reading this. And I used to read every single comment I got. And like, I wanted to interact with everyone to show that I'm like supportive and like I engage back. I'm like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
I do it sometimes. And
It's a shame that the algorithm
yeah.
still puts that as something that would help interacting with comments when the
Well,
people who know these apps know that the comment sections are so fucking...
you do want to interact somewhat, but it's like post a video and then the first like few comments or something, I'll like respond back.
Sure.
But then after that, especially if it's like more of a viral video,
There's no
I'm
way.
just like, nope.
It's
not
less personal.
reading that.
Because then
No,
comments
literally.
get their own threads, and then those get their own threads.
Because
and
it's
like-
not my followers anymore. It's
Yeah.
like, it's not the people that are supporting me. It's people that are just like seeing it and saying whatever. And, like,
that's a good point.
Sometimes I do try to respond, but yeah, it's just, you can't put that in your head constantly.
It's
you have
tough.
to just like
It's
ignore
tough.
it, act like it never happened. Because you could be like a perfect little angel on the internet and people are still going to be like, you're such a goody two shoes.
They're gonna destroy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's such a good example. My mom, who was late to the social media age, I mean, she's had Facebook for a few years now, but she's retired, and so she has a lot of time on her hands. And so lately she's been getting into this very niche category of entertainment on Facebook, which is monkey videos. Like, there's people
Okay.
in like third world countries that just have pet monkeys. And so they straight up put diapers on them, and it's like really, really weird. And they're named, and she's telling me about like,
They're part of the family.
Monkey George is doing this today. Go watch what he's eating. And I'm like,
like,
that's
what?
okay, Mom. And so she's like, she'll comment saying like stuff trying to defend the monkeys when people are hating on the monkeys.
Who's hating on these monkeys?
There's people saying just like, that's an ugly ass monkey.
What?
Why do you got that monkey? Or just
she
like,
gets so offended by
That's
it.
a beautiful monkey.
or she's saying like, you guys are ruining these monkeys' lives, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no, they're getting fed every single day.
Your
They have
mom
their
seems
own
so
beds.
Sweet. Oh.
And
They
she's
have their own beds.
getting destroyed in the comment section where she's like talking to me like, I had to delete my comment because everyone was just attacking me and I did not know what to do. I was like, Mom, just don't.
Put the phone
don't
down.
say anything.
Yeah.
Don't do
Well,
it.
my mom's obsessed with Facebook. Like, she'll be like, did you see this? Did you see the meteor fell out of the sky? I'm like, what? And she's like, no, I saw it on Facebook. I'm like, but like,
The sky has fallen.
Look out the window, Mom. Like, the real life.
What else does she watch on Facebook? Like, what's the most ridiculous thing?
Who knows? Because I'm like, I started like saying stuff about her being on Facebook, and then she like tries to hide it now. But she'll call
Now it's an
the
addiction.
Facebook videos, she'll call them TikTok Reels. I'm like, it's either TikTok or Reels. I'm like, and all these are actually
TikTok
Instagram
Reels.
Reels.
Yeah.
That's like
completely off.
reused. So she'll show me something. I'll be like, yeah, I saw that like 3 years ago. And then I don't know. And then she'll send me like recipes sometimes.
Oh, because she knows that's part of
You're
your...
like, Mom, these
Well,
aren't from
yeah.
Hannah Montana.
No, but then it's like some weird shit. And then she saw some recipe for like mayonnaise chicken. And then she made it for my dad. And my dad is like, my mom is definitely white, but my dad isn't the white. Like, you saw my dad.
Yeah.
He's not the whitest person. Like, he had feathers in his hat. He's Native American,
Yeah.
and he lives that lifestyle. Like, he's genuinely Native American. We're Cherokee Indian. My
Is
mom's
mayonnaise
not.
chicken not a Native American dish?
No, literally, he was like,
It sounds pretty American to me.
He's never wanted to like tell my mom, like, don't make this. He was like, don't ever make this ever again. Because I like came in, I was like, what the fuck are you making? And she was like,
what is that smell?
She was like, I found a recipe. I'm like, and you're gonna eat that? Dad's gonna eat that? And she's like, yeah, we're gonna try it. And my dad was like, what the fuck? Like, this is some white people shit.
Did you try it?
No.
Mayonnaise on chicken?
Well, I mean, in a chicken salad sandwich, it sounds fine, but just to have mayonnaise chicken.
It was like seasoning. And like, I think my mom just get bored and high sometimes and she just tries shit. They literally, like, the seasoning was mayonnaise. I'm like, I want to see what that person looked like that made that recipe.
Paula Deen.
Yeah, Paula Deen ass shit. Like, that's not even Betty Crocker. Betty Crocker would never.
When I first moved into my girlfriend's apartment, I remember opening up the spice drawer and being like, "Wow, you got everything in here." And then I like would start cooking it, like, "Oh, none of these are open."
It's decor.
Yeah, none of these have been used. I was like, "Oh, the lemon pepper's been used and the salt."
Yep.
So that stereotype is accurate that like white people don't use spice, or like it's weird.
Of the last 4 white women that I've dated, pepper was hot for all of them. Black pepper was too spicy for all of them.
Oh.
So
you like spicy foods?
No.
No.
Yeah, I can't.
Your white's showing.
Anything. I know. I season my food though.
That's good. Seasoning is not spicing.
Yeah.
See, different words.
True.
What about you would you say like actually fits the white stereotype, like of your white background?
The level of melatonin in your skin?
I mean, yeah, maybe like
The lack of.
I don't know. I feel like I would need an example and then I'd be like either yes, I fit that or no, I don't.
So like if I had like a bunch of slides, right? And let's say one of them is
Oh wait, actually, I know some super white people shit. Ooh. So I'm going to Hawaii next week, terrified of planes. Getting on a plane, terrified of. Once I get there, I'm gonna swim with sharks without a cage.
Without a cage?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're some.
Yeah.
You're white.
I'm not scared of that.
You opened up the door.
I'm scared of getting on a plane.
You are the person that dies in the first 5 minutes of a horror movie.
Yeah, sharks kill more people than planes do.
But it's like with an instructor. They're between you and the sharks. They're trained on shark behavior.
Yes, but so is the pilot in the airplane. The pilot is trained to fly, and that's like the most person that you could have. It's not like
I figured like if the shark's gonna get anyone, it's gonna be that person that's out a little farther. Or I could see that happen. I can be like, oh, time to get back on the boat. But
what the fuck without a cage, yo? I'm still tripping.
Though, because
sharks?
you're just like, no, it could be the tiger sharks, great white, anything.
Baby shark.
I don't know.
Okay,
and my friend's scared of the ocean, so I'm like, if I'm getting on planes, this is what you're doing.
Oh,
like,
tit for
you're
tat.
going swimming with sharks. And I wanted to do that when I was in Hawaii before. I didn't. And it's actually kind of like safer than cage diving because a cage could like fall or like, I don't know.
You've done your research.
Yeah, a shark could get stuck in the cage and then it doesn't have a way out. But with that, like, they're more calm.
Everybody's fucked. Oh.
Yeah, that too. Everyone just gets eaten.
Well,
but,
I mean,
I guess that's a perfect example for some white people.
If I was going to Hawaii, I'd be looking forward to the swim up bar at the hotel.
Yeah.
I like that.
4 Coronas, please.
Well, it's the opposite for me. When I go to Hawaii, people think I'm from there. They start speaking pidgin to me, and I'm like, oh, exactly. That's offensive.
No, that's a joke, bro.
Damn, dude. That's
I don't like mayonnaise though.
You don't like mayonnaise.
As you
ranch.
Do you put well, that's actually just un-American. Do you put raisins in your rice pudding?
I don't.
Do you put raisins in anything they don't belong in, like maybe stuffing?
Like anything ever? No.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good,
What's your Thanksgiving meals look like?
Stuffing or dressing?
It's stuffing for sure. But it's boxed.
No, that's again American.
That's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
We made this holiday.
We have turkey and ham. I'm not big on turkey. Like my family doesn't love turkey because it's usually dry.
It's always
like you could cook it so well.
No, you guys are doing turkey so wrong.
No, we can cook it for hours, or it's like not
that's your
done
problem, then.
enough.
Oh.
Or it's too dry. Like turkey is just so hard to get right.
Oh man.
So it's
Butter
like turkey,
is a secret.
ham. We don't usually do like mac and cheese or anything like that unless I make it.
Or you make some bomb ass mac and cheese.
If I have the right ingredients, it's so easy to fuck up. But mac and cheese is so expensive to home make. Like people don't think about this.
That's why I like Velveeta.
Ew, I don't like Velveeta. I don't like Kraft mac and cheese either.
No,
really.
Kraft is yucko, but Velveeta is yummo.
That's the same thing, but with shells.
No,
and sauce.
I buy the Velveeta blocks. It's the only cheese that they don't refrigerate at the store.
Ew.
And then I chop it up and put that in with some noodles, and then I chop up little hot dogs. Put that in there too.
Hot dogs in your mac and cheese?
I don't like hot dogs.
Oh,
that's okay.
Bring them in.
Bring
in the hot dogs.
I was a kid, I only liked hot dogs from 7-Eleven.
Those are actually really good hot dogs, though.
But now I hate hot dogs. So
how about Costco Polish dogs from Costco? $1.50 and it comes with a drink.
Oh my God.
Have you ever been to New York? You get a Nathan's dog.
I have been to New York.
Did you get a Nathan's dog?
No, I didn't like hot dogs anymore. Yeah.
So you don't do like a hot dog bowl?
What?
The fuck? That's some white people shit. What the fuck are you? Your white is showing.
You know, like a burrito bowl, but instead of a burrito,
absolutely
it's
not.
A bunch of chopped up hot dogs.
Ridiculous.
A little bit of mustard.
All right.
I'm calling 911.
Guys, I mean, before we do wrap this up, I told you via text, and I don't know if you have a background in improv whatsoever.
I do not.
That's that's how we became best friends after he bullied me, was that we did
I thought it was that one beautiful night at CCD. Church school. When we found Jesus together, remember?
That's what it was. We had a church retreat. Real quick story.
Oh God.
Church retreat.
Quick story. 3 hours later.
This was after he was my bully, right? This guy would like steal my lunch and like try to hide my Tupperware in the locker.
All of a sudden he's at church like, I'm holy.
No, he was still kind of like a fucking piece of shit in church. He was still
forced to go.
But God forgave him, so you had to too.
Someone forgave him.
Yeah.
But at this retreat, this is how I knew we had a connection, because it was an overnight retreat, and this is like the guy that's like, super alpha, hella testosterone, suck my dick. He would just be he had his sleeping bag next to mine, and he was just like my buddy throughout the night.
I got out and got into his sleeping bag.
You guys cuddled together? Yeah.
We were indoors, but we did anyways.
Whispered in my ear, he's like, hey, you want to play a game? And I'm like, is
so
he hitting on me?
You're like, he's going to kill me, or he's hitting on me right
Yeah,
now?
he's coming out at a church retreat. Very like on brand. And he just said, I was like, oh, okay, what is it? He said, do you want to tell me your deepest, darkest secret?
Okay, that's enough. That's enough.
Talking about our deepest, darkest secret.
And his deepest, darkest secret was, last summer, I smoked weed for the first time with my brother. And I was like,
how old were you?
that's it?
15.
You're going to hell.
I was 72.
That's the
Actually, I think it was actually 14.
I was very young. I didn't smoke weed until I was in
I don't want that in here. I don't want people to know my age.
Okay.
I was 36 the first time I smoked pot.
Wow, you age backwards, Benjamin Buttons.
That's right. That's right.
All right, let's get into it. So we're gonna do an improv scene.
Okay.
You've never done improv before.
No.
Do you have any questions before we get into it?
Did you read the script?
Yeah, I have the script over here.
Hell yeah.
No, what is even going on? You're like, do you have any questions? All of the questions.
Did we start recording?
It could be a scene from like nothing, from anything, about anything, or we could like reference any of the stories we talked about on today's podcast.
Maybe we just handle it and let her kind of like dip her toe in if you
could
want.
do it. It's.
I don't know.
There's no pressure for it to be. People
You're
always
like,
think
no pressure, but we need the views.
We need the views, so don't fuck it up. If you stumble on your words
we
at all,
also really like structure in our scenes, so make sure you keep structure throughout all of it.
Yeah, it is what it is. So let's get into it, and then we'll wrap this thing up.
All right, let's start, guys. Here we go. Hello?
Hey, Alondra Middleton?
Speaking.
Hey, I just saw your TikTok, the one that went viral, and you were adding mayonnaise to everything, and my wife always complains that I'm not doing enough.
I'm sorry, hang on a second. Yeah, no, I'll take fries on the side. That's fine.
Yeah, and I wanted to, it's our anniversary.
I'm sorry, 1 second. No, fries on the side. Okay. And sweet potato fries are fine. Sorry, what were you saying?
It's our anniversary next week, and I just wanted to surprise her with a romantic dinner, and if you could just like send me your recipe.
Yeah, well, here I got a perfect one for couples here. It's called Mayonnaise Delight. So first, what you do is you get a 9-inch brownie pan.
Okay.
Okay, 9x4-inch brownie pan. You're gonna want to do a nice 1/4-inch layer of mayonnaise.
Quarter inch?
1/4 inch.
1/4 inch.
Deep.
Do you get a? Oh, not like wide.
By the way, she's on the line too.
Yeah.
She's on the line too.
Hello.
Sorry, I've
Hi.
been listening in. This is
No,
your
that's
FBI
honey,
agent.
completely fine.
This was supposed to be a surprise. I'm just
fuck.
gonna make you.
You know what? You need a second pair of hands for this recipe, anyways.
Okay, fine. Cut to the romantic dinner that that I'm having with my wife. So it's almost done. I hope you like mayonnaise, and it's gonna be it's from the heart.
We've been married for 30 years, and you don't even know if I like mayonnaise or not.
Do you know
anything about me?
I've seen it in our fridge. I've seen it used as. I'll get the door.
The pizza guy's here.
You ordered pizza?
Yeah, you're cooking. What was I supposed to
Okay.
do?
Hi. Okay.
You're not getting a tip.
Christian, hey, say John from next door. I'm so sorry to do this to you, but there's a
John Mayer?
disgusting smell coming from your room.
We live next to John Mayer.
Yes, you guys know that. Come on, we're here at 42nd.
Gravity.
Thank you. Anyways, the smell coming from your guys' room.
Can you perform for us real quick?
Honestly, guys, I'm just here to talk about the smell. I have a couple of friends over that I'm trying to entertain.
We're not listening
and
until
it
you
smells.
perform.
Well, did something die in there? What is that smell?
Yes, you're going to die if you don't perform for us right now. Now that we can hold you
John,
captive.
I have to, honey, I'm going to do this for us. We've been married for 30
I thought
years.
you were supposed to have the pizza.
I live next door, guys. I'm here because of
Then
the
when's
smell.
the pizza going to be here?
Is she okay?
She is agitated, and she absolutely loves you. If you would join us inside for a lovely meal, I made mayonnaise delight.
I'm not coming inside. Not with that smell. Not until you guys get rid of whatever it is that you're doing. It smells like boiled.
Then he's gonna have to
pierogies.
come with you then.
I'm having an inkling she doesn't like my cooking. So
honestly, if that what the smell is, it's
I don't
cooking.
know if it's
You're cooking
cooking
something.
or him. He doesn't shower.
cut to couples therapy the next week because it's
sequel.
obviously not working out between Christian and Lauren.
Is John Mayer still there?
John Mayer, is your singing career not going well because you're also our therapist?
No, I'm after you guys. I have the appointment slot after you guys.
Cut to the office with a therapist then.
Okay. Is John Mayer listening in still, or is he in the room with
You know
us?
what? Hey,
Or?
I don't like to talk about other patients with patients, so let's leave John out there and
Okay.
have us in here.
Are you into John Mayer and not me?
Yeah. I've tried to tell you this. Why do you think I got the house next door to him?
Most women are.
Yeah.
Cut to all of the times, a montage of times where she had hinted at liking John Mayer. You've been playing his entire album on blast.
Yeah,
lately.
it's because I'm in love with him.
Oh,
Cut to
interesting. Babe, happy 29th anniversary. I'm going to put on some Tom Jones because I know that you love Tom Jones and it's not in the CD player. This is John Mayer. Interesting.
John Mayer?
Yeah.
The guy we live next door to. The neighbor I've been fucking for the past 28 years.
Oh, that's interesting. Cut to the fucking. Cut to.
The guy you caught me with 50 times.
Cut to that time where I walked in on John Mayer and Lauren. Hey, babe, I came with flowers.
Cut to the time you shredded our divorce papers.
I still love you.
I can't. No, what? I can't agree to this. Yeah, we're.
Cut to John Mayer and Christian sitting at the bar together.
Hey, man, you take care of her.
I'm really sorry that I stole your wife, man.
You know, if it was gonna be anyone, I'm glad it was you.
No, I'm not signing autographs right now. Sorry, this keeps happening. I'm trying to have a moment with you.
Sing Gravity.
I'm having a moment with my neighbor.
Sing New Light.
I'm sitting here with my neighbor, sir.
Do you remember when you were on the Dave Chappelle show?
I do. You can come and sit with
Okay,
us.
cut to couples therapy where you guys are a couple and now I'm the therapist, but I'm also the ex-wife.
Hi, babe.
But the divorce never actually finalized, so we're still technically married, but you guys are together now.
So I don't know if you knew, but John and I have been fucking.
We fuck now.
We do. I mean, there was just something that worked. He actually learned to love my mayonnaise delight. Well,
What
What worked?
I
Your
mean-
asshole? What?
I mean, I guess that works. That's a little invasive, seeing that we're not together anymore. But I mean, it's not like you would know anyway. But
Yeah, Lauren, it's something between me and my lover.
and I know that you guys had a thing going on, and I'm willing to put that behind us, which is why
He put me
us?
behind him.
Yeah. That behind us or
Me
the
behind
one
him.
Okay.
Yeah.
and I don't know why I'm becoming the butt of the joke right now, but it's just
Sweetie, you're
turns
the
out-
front.
Okay, you guys
Okay,
don't have to be assholes about it. Like,
And on that note, scene. Crazy scene where John Mayer.
if John Mayer sees this, we're
You're available? Are you down?
You're available. I'm available, John Mayer.
If John Mayer sees this, you're about to get a divorce.
Yeah, at this point. We
Is
just
he
fucked up
married?
his reputation. Yeah,
I don't know.
I think,
Oh,
right?
not for long.
Pamela Anderson?
What?
No.
No, I don't know. I
You're
made
just
that
making
up.
it
Yeah,
up.
I don't know.
John Mayer, great guy. Really like him.
Yeah.
I like this episode on
Bring
Hot
him
Ones.
in.
Hey, bring him in. Bring him in.
Do I have a surprise for you?
But hell yeah, thanks for doing that and being
Yeah.
chaotic with us. But that's
Yeah.
some improv, dude.
That was fun. That was good.
Yeah. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for collaborating with us. And
Thank you
having
for
some
being a
good
friend.
Conversations. And thank you. we're friends, right?
Thank you for being
That
a
happens after the third podcast.
After the third, hey,
Yeah.
you're always welcome back. I mean, I would say
we'll
I'm
talk
just
about
here
it.
every day for the next like 3
you
months. I'm
fucking
just
live
like,
here.
You got plenty of rooms,
I'm moving.
Christian. She can't have mine. Under the stairs.
Oh.
That's my room.
Oh, the little Harry Potter room. But no, I mean, have you done a podcast before prior to this?
No, I haven't.
Wow.
Really?
It flows pretty naturally for you. It's just just
Maybe I just
conversation.
talk too much.
Maybe you should have a podcast.
That's why I'm like, maybe I needed an outlet to just speak so all my friends could finally just stop telling me to shut up.
This is
I've
the
been
perfect
told,
outlet.
Well, now-
I've been told like you talk too much. I'm like, yeah.
Whoa, straight to your
you're
face?
right.
Now you
Yeah,
have to have
'cause
your
they're
friends listen to
right.
this.
I know. And then they're like, great, just what we want. Hear you talk for
When you're
however
not here.
long. I know.
Because I think on separate occasions we've been told that too, which makes sense that we
I've never been told that.
do this. Whether you talk too much?
Well, you should
No,
be told.
I don't hear it ever. Usually I'm
talk too
talking
much.
over people when they
You
say
talk too
something.
much.
I don't ever hear it because I talk and I can't hear when I talk. I can't hear.
You have a problem then, is what it is. I've
What?
been told before.
All
All right,
than the alcoholism. Another problem.
let's wrap this up.
Jesus moment.
Lauren McCoy, thank you very much for joining us on this episode. Before we end, is there plug yourself and tell everyone where they can find you, all the handles. You guys have the minds of children. I can't say anything without it being
And
taken
this
a certain
video
way.
is sponsored by Adam and Eve.
At the least, it's rude. Plug yourself.
Plug yourself.
I mean,
Okay, shout out your handle.
Plug your handles.
my handles. TikTok, Lauren McCoy 1. Instagram, Lauren McCoy with 2 Y's at the end of McCoy.
Was Lauren
My
McCoy 2 taken?
Yeah, my address is
No.
Social and your credit card.
Yeah, your mother's maiden name.
My credit card number, my social security. If you
We'll
want
get on
that,
the
just
screen.
DM me.
Yeah, and in
Yeah.
exchange, you'll give them feet pics too, right?
That's paid.
That's paid.
If you want feet pics, then
Legit.
here's here's a
Sock
free-
pics for free. Here's a taste.
That's
Yeah.
just for free. Okay.
That's for the views for you.
Thank you.
The way we end this episode is that we ask our guests to look into the barrel of their camera and leave the listeners with a phrase, a word, or anything.
Advice.
Yeah, and then we'll end it that way.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, we're gonna zoom in on you.
I'm like advice.
Make it meaningful too. You know.
We're just like sitting here for like 3 hours. Advice: don't come on this fucking podcast. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
And we'll cut it right
Yeah,
there.
Kidding.
And that's completely fine. No, honestly, that's hilarious. And we'll end it right there. Baddies, we love you. Thank you very much. You can follow us at ICBTB Podcast on Instagram, ICBTB Podcast on TikTok. Email us at ICBTBpodcast@yahoo.com.
Or just go to our website, ICBTB.com.
Yeah, get
Scroll
all of your-
the way to the bottom. You can send us a message.
Get all of your merch, subscribe, rate, review, do all that you can. Talk to us, DM us, keep asking Alejandro to fart on the podcast, and eventually he will, but we'll have the window open. And yeah, once again, check out Lauren McCoy on all of her socials. Check her out and all of that stuff.
Tell 5 friends and have them tell 5 friends and have them tell 5 friends.
And we'll see you next time. Baddies, we love you. Peace.
I like you.